kicking off the week on Tesla Shorts Time, daily, episode 496 for June 1st, 2026. I'm Patrick, coming to you from Vancouver. Let's see what the new week has in store for Tesla. Tesla's FSD approval in Estonia opens public roads in a third European country after Lithuania and the Netherlands. Tesla secured approval to operate full self-driving on Estonia's public roads. This makes Estonia the third European country cleared after Lithuania and the Netherlands. The approvals follow procedures set by the Dutch authority RDW. Rollout notifications are expected to begin for owners today. FSD Supervised is already rolling out in Lithuania. Owners with legacy hardware 3 computers will not receive the new V14 updates. The company has shifted to a €99 monthly subscription as the only purchase option after discontinuing outright sales. While regulatory wins expand supervised autonomy, European sales momentum shows parallel demand recovery. Tesla deliveries in Portugal more than quadrupled compared with May 2025. The increase aligns with similar gains reported earlier in Norway and France. Britain and Germany are scheduled to release their May registration figures later this week. The surge came as the overall EV market expanded in the country. Portugal's results showed demand recovery continuing across multiple countries simultaneously. Stock briefly tested moving averages on the news. Stronger European demand contrasts with internal doubts surfacing inside Tesla's autonomy team. Current and former members of Tesla's self-driving team have expressed doubts about relying on the system in critical situations. The internal skepticism centers on the gap between demonstrated performance and the requirements for unsupervised operation. The report highlights ongoing challenges in aligning engineering confidence with public claims. Tesla faces a trust problem inside its own self-driving AI team. Current and former members of the team have voiced doubts about depending on the system in life-critical situations. The internal gap between engineering confidence and public statements remains unresolved. Tesla will need to close that credibility divide before regulators consider unsupervised operation. Internal engineering skepticism stands in contrast to steady software refinements reaching owners. CATL plans to begin volume production of sodium-ion cells this year. The initial target range is 600 kilometers. The chemistry is positioned as a lower-cost alternative to current lithium iron phosphate packs. Future versions aim to close the energy density gap with entry-level LFP configurations. CATL supplies Tesla and Toyota. The world's largest battery maker outlined its long-term roadmap favoring sodium-ion and lithium-air chemistries over solid-state approaches. Battery chemistry shifts could eventually support the kind of long-range trips one owner just completed. Software Update 2026.20 introduces a dedicated forward camera view cleaning panel inside service mode. Technicians can now follow on-screen steps to address a frequent owner complaint about dirty cameras. The panel guides the process without requiring external tools or disassembly. The same weekend update adds encryption to dashcam clips stored on the vehicle's USB drive. Footage is now protected from unauthorized access, even if the drive is removed. Owners must enter their Tesla account credentials to view or export the files. Owners can now block the in-car web browser, Tesla Theater, and Tesla Arcade directly from vehicle settings. The change gives parents finer control over what children can access while the car is parked or in use. The feature arrived as part of the broader 2026.20 software package released over the weekend. Everyday software improvements sit alongside dramatic real-world safety demonstrations. A Model 3 in California fell 300 feet off a cliff, yet kept its passengers alive. The incident again demonstrated how Tesla's engineering protects occupants in extreme crashes. Rescue teams reached the site after the vehicle came to rest at the bottom. The event underscores the vehicle's structural integrity. This latest example of Tesla engineering in extreme crashes highlights real durability on a remote cliff. While the Model 3 proved its durability on a remote cliff, another owner pushed a different kind of boundary. An 84-year-old driver completed the first documented Tesla journey from California to the Arctic Ocean. The trip relied on the vehicle's long-range capability and charging network across remote stretches. The milestone highlights real-world usability of current Tesla models in extreme conditions. Owner stories of capability lead into competitive pressure from new entrants. NIO introduced a lower-priced model aimed directly at Tesla's volume segment and BYD's offerings. The vehicle targets buyers seeking an affordable electric option with NIO's battery swap infrastructure. Pricing and specifications position it as a direct competitor in the entry-level EV space. NIO just launched a budget EV to take on Tesla and BYD. Owners testing recent software changes noted noticeable improvements in response times during daily driving. The update affects how quickly the vehicle reacts to driver inputs and surrounding traffic. Feedback so far centers on smoother highway merging and city-street acceleration. A long-term owner reported completing multiple drives without any manual intervention under the latest FSD version. The account emphasizes consistent performance on familiar routes and changing conditions. The post reflects growing owner confidence in the supervised system. Tesla withdrew its termination notice on a graphite supply deal with Australia's Syra. The company reversed an earlier threat to end the agreement. The move eased concerns over raw material sourcing for battery production and lifted Syra's share price. Both parties are now continuing the existing supply relationship. Tesla driver charged after head-on crash destroys 1968 Ford Mustang. The incident has drawn strong reactions from classic car enthusiasts online. Authorities filed charges against the Tesla driver following the collision that totaled the vintage vehicle. The story highlights ongoing discussions around driver behavior versus vehicle technology. Tesla stock tests short-term moving averages amid surging Scandinavian demand. Price action reflects both European sales momentum and broader market moves. The stock hovered near key technical levels as investors weighed registration gains in Norway and France against other factors. Trading volume remained elevated throughout the session. Now, one thing worth watching is the trust problem inside Tesla's own self-driving AI team. Current and former members of the team have voiced doubts about depending on the system in life-critical situations. The internal gap between engineering confidence and public statements remains unresolved. Tesla will need to close that credibility divide before regulators consider unsupervised operation. This internal skepticism comes at a time when supervised FSD continues to expand in approved markets. Taking a step back from today's headlines, the addition of encrypted dashcam storage and granular parental controls in the same software update reveals how Tesla treats the car as a personal computing device rather than a simple appliance. The encryption requires account credentials to access footage, while the new settings let owners disable browser, theater, and arcade access without third-party tools. These features address two distinct owner concerns: data privacy and family safety, within a single release cycle that also includes a service mode camera cleaning panel. By embedding these controls directly in the vehicle software, Tesla can iterate faster than traditional automakers that rely on separate infotainment suppliers, turning routine updates into incremental product differentiation that compounds over time. Tomorrow, we'll be watching for May registration figures from Britain and Germany to see if the European demand recovery holds across more markets. That's your Tesla news for today. TSLA closed at $420.25, down $15.54, 3.6%. If you found this useful, a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify really helps new listeners find the show. You can also find us on X at Tesla Shorts Time. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow. And before you go, this show is part of the NERA Network, a family of daily podcasts covering tech, science, markets, and more. If you enjoyed today's episode, give OmniView a listen, a balanced daily world news briefing that takes every side seriously. You can explore the whole lineup at neranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.